The Warriors just got hit with news that nobody wanted to hear, and the timing couldn't be worse. We're sitting at 9-9, fighting to find our rhythm, trying to build momentum in this NBA Cup group stage, and then this happens. The last 24 hours have brought developments that are going to test the depth of this roster in ways we haven't seen yet this season. I'm going to break down exactly what's going on, why this matters more than you might think, and what Steve Kerr and his coaching staff need to do to navigate through what's shaping up to be one of the most challenging stretches of the entire year. But you need to stay with me because this story goes deeper than just one injury report. This is about the Warriors' identity, about how we adapt when adversity strikes, and about whether this team has the resilience to overcome obstacles and still compete at the highest level. Welcome to Warriors News Fan Report, your home for the most up-to-date information, the most reliable insider analysis, and the most passionate coverage of our Golden State Warriors. If you bleed blue and gold, if you want to know what's really happening with this team before anyone else, you need to subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button, turn on notifications, because what's about to unfold over the next few weeks is going to define what kind of season we're going to have. Let me start by giving you the context, because you need to understand where we are as a team right now. The Warriors are 9-9. We're at 500. We just came off a tough loss to the Portland Trail Blazers, 123-127, in our third NBA Cup Group Stage game. That's a game we should have won. That's a game where we had opportunities to close it out, and we couldn't get it done. The frustration is real. The concern is legitimate. We're not playing Warriors basketball right now. We're not moving the ball the way we should. We're not defending with the intensity and focus that's defined this franchise for the past decade. Something feels off, and I know you can feel it too if you've been watching these games closely. But here's the thing. The season is long. It's a marathon, not a sprint. We've been through rough patches before. We've faced adversity. We've dealt with injuries. And every single time, this organization has found a way to adapt, to adjust, to overcome. That's what championship cultures do. That's what separates good teams from great teams. The ability to weather storms, to stay together when things get tough, to trust the process even when the results aren't showing up immediately. I still believe in this team. I still believe in what Steve Kerr is building. I still believe in Steph Curry's leadership. But I'm not going to sugarcoat the situation we're facing right now, because the reality is that things just got significantly more complicated. This summer, the Warriors made a move that flew under the radar for a lot of people. We brought in Horford, a 39-year-old veteran who's been one of the most respected players in the league for over a decade. Now, I know what some of you were thinking when we signed him. He's old. He's past his prime. What's he going to give us that we don't already have? But if you've been watching the games, if you've been paying attention to what Horford brings to this team, you understand why this move made sense. It's not about the stats. It's never been about the stats with a player like Horford. It's about the intangibles. It's about the basketball IQ. It's about the defensive positioning, the communication, the way he elevates everyone around him just by being on the court. Horford has played 12 games for us this season. He's averaging 5.8 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 1.8 assists. Those numbers don't jump off the page. They don't make highlight reels. But what those numbers don't show you is the impact he has on our defensive rotation, the way he anchors the second unit, the way he mentors our younger players, the way he communicates defensive assignments and helps everyone stay organized. Stephen Curry himself has praised Horford's basketball knowledge. That tells you everything you need to know. When your franchise player, your greatest player of all time, is going out of his way to compliment a veteran role player, that means something. That means Horford is doing things that matter, things that don't always show up in the box score, but absolutely contribute to winning basketball. And now we've got a problem, a significant problem that's going to test our depth and force Steve Kerr to get creative with his rotations. The Warriors released their latest injury report, and the news isn't good. Al Horford is out. He's dealing with right sciatic nerve irritation. For those of you who don't know what that means, sciatica is no joke. It's nerve pain that radiates from your lower back down through your legs. It can be debilitating. It affects your mobility, your ability to move laterally, your ability to jump. For a basketball player, especially a big man who needs to move his feet on defense and battle in the paint, This is a serious issue, according to Anthony Slater, one of the most connected reporters covering the Warriors. Steve Kerr told the media that Horford will miss at least 3 games. At least 3 games. That's the minimum. Depending on how he responds to treatment, depending on how his body heals, it could be longer. We don't know the full timeline yet. We don't know the severity beyond what's been reported. But what we do know is that our front court just took another hit, and we're already dealing with a situation that was far from ideal. Let me walk you through just how depleted our front court is right now, because this is where the situation gets really concerning. Jonathan Kuminga remains out with knee tendinitis. Kuminga has been one of our most important players this season. His athleticism, his ability to attack the rim, his defensive versatility, all of it has been crucial to our success. Losing him for any extended period is a massive blow. And now we're also dealing with Draymond Green being questionable for the game against the Jazz with a midfoot sprain. Draymond Green, the heart and soul of our defense. The guy who makes everything work on that end of the floor. The possibility that he might not be available is terrifying. So let's do the math here. Horford is out for at least 3 games. Kuminga is out indefinitely with knee tendinitis. Draymond is questionable and might not play. That's 3 of our key frontcourt players all dealing with injuries at the same time. That's not just bad luck. That's a crisis. That's a situation that's going to force Steve Kerr to dig deep into the rotation, to give minutes to guys who haven't been playing much, to experiment with lineups that we haven't used before. And all of this is happening while we're trying to find our identity as a team, while we're trying to build momentum, while we're trying to get back above 500 and establish ourselves as legitimate contenders. In the Western Conference, the timing of Horford's injury is particularly frustrating because he was just starting to find his rhythm with this team. Yes, he had that rough game against the Sacramento Kings where he went scoreless and missed all 7 of his 3-point attempts. That was tough to watch. That was a game where nothing was falling for him. But you can't judge a player based on one bad shooting night. What matters is the consistency of his approach, the way he shows up every day, the way he prepares, the way he impacts the game in ways that go beyond scoring. Horford has been doing that all season. He's been a stabilizing presence. He's been a veteran voice in the locker room. He's been exactly what we brought him here to be. And now we have to figure out how to survive without him for at least 3 games, possibly more. So what does that mean for our rotation? How do we fill the minutes? Who steps up? These are the questions Steve Kerr is wrestling with right now. One option is to give more minutes to Kevin Looney. Looney has been a warrior for years. He's a proven veteran who understands our system. He's not going to give you flashy stats, but he's going to rebound. He's going to set screens. He's going to do the dirty work. Another option is to go smaller, to play more 4-out lineups with Draymond at the 5 when he's healthy. That's something we've done successfully in the past. It creates spacing. It allows Steph to operate with more room. It puts pressure on opposing defenses. But it also leaves us vulnerable on the boards and against bigger, more physical teams. We could also see increased minutes for Trace Jackson-Davis, the rookie who's shown flashes of potential. He's athletic, he's a rim runner, he's got good instincts on defense, but he's still raw. He's still learning. Asking him to fill the void left by Horford and potentially Kuminga and Draymond is a lot to put on a young player's shoulders. There's also the possibility of experimenting with different combinations, mixing and matching to see what works. Maybe we see more of Gary Payton II at the 4 in small ball lineups. Maybe we see Moses Moody getting more opportunities. The point is, Steve Kerr is going to have to get creative. He's going to have to think outside the box. And the players who are healthy are going to have to step up and deliver. This is where championship DNA gets tested. This is where you find out what a team is really made of. Are we going to fold under the pressure of injuries and adversity? Are we going to use this as an excuse for losing games? Or are we going to rally together, play harder, compete with more intensity, and find ways to win even when we're shorthanded? I believe in the latter. I believe this team has the character, the leadership, and the talent to navigate through this difficult stretch. But it's going to require everyone to elevate their game. It's going to require Steph Curry to be even more aggressive offensively. It's going to require our role players to step into bigger responsibilities. It's going to require our defense to be locked in for 48 minutes every single night. Let's talk about the broader implications of this injury situation, because it's not just about the next 3 games. It's about how we manage our roster for the long haul. The Warriors are in a unique position this season. We've got a mix of veterans and young players. We've got championship experience and developing talent. The goal is to compete for a title while also building for the future. That's a delicate balance. You can't sacrifice one for the other. You have to do both simultaneously. And that means being smart about how you manage minutes, how you handle injuries, how you make sure your key players are healthy and fresh when the playoffs roll. Around Al Horford being 39 years old is not insignificant. At that age, recovery takes longer. The body doesn't bounce back the way it does when you're 25. Sciatica can be a recurring issue if it's not properly managed. The Warriors need to be cautious here. They need to make sure Horford is fully healthy before they bring him back. Rushing him back too soon could lead to a more serious injury, could lead to him missing even more time down the road. The smart play is to be patient, to let him heal completely, to make sure he's 100% before he steps back on the court. Yes, we need him. Yes, his absence hurt. But we need him healthy for the long term more than we need him playing hurt in. November. The same logic applies to Jonathan Kuminga and Draymond Green. Kuminga's knee tendonitis is something that needs to be monitored closely. Tendonitis can become chronic if you don't address it properly. The last thing we want is for Kuminga to be dealing with this issue all season long. Give him the time he needs to recover. Let the inflammation go down. Make sure he's pain-free before he comes back. And with Draymond's midfoot sprain, you have to be careful. Foot injuries for a player who relies on his mobility and defensive intensity can be tricky. One wrong step, one premature return, and you could be looking at a much longer absence. The Warriors have to prioritize health over short-term wins. I know that's frustrating when you're sitting at 9-9 and every game feels crucial. But the bigger picture matters more. Here's what I'm watching for over the next week. First, I want to see how our young players respond to increased opportunities. This is a chance for guys like Moses Moody and Trace Jackson-Davis to prove they belong in the rotation. This is their moment to shine, to show Steve Kerr that they can be trusted in meaningful minutes. Second, I want to see how Steph Curry adjusts his game to carry more of the offensive load. We know he's capable of it. We've seen him do it countless times throughout his career. But at his age, with the mileage on his body, it's about being efficient, about picking his spots, about making sure he's not exhausting himself trying to do too much. Third, I want to see how our defense holds up without our full complement of front court players. Can we still protect the rim? Can we still rebound? Can we still execute our defensive schemes? These are the questions that will determine whether we tread water during this stretch or whether we fall further behind in the standings. The good news is that the Warriors have been through worse. We've dealt with injuries to key players before. We've had to navigate difficult stretches, and we've always found a way to come out on the other side. This organization knows how to handle adversity. Steve Kerr is one of the best coaches in the league at making adjustments and getting the most out of his roster. Steph Curry is a leader who elevates everyone around him. Draymond Green, when healthy, is the emotional engine that drives this team. We've got the pieces. We've got the experience. We've got the culture. Now we just need to execute. I want to be clear about something. I'm not panicking. I'm not hitting the alarm button and saying the season is over. We're 18 games into an 82-game season. There's so much basketball left to play. There's so much time to figure things out, to get healthy, to build chemistry, to find our rhythm. But I am concerned about the pattern of injuries we're seeing. I am concerned about the depth of our front court. I am concerned about whether we have enough bodies to compete at a high level when our rotation gets depleted like this. These are legitimate concerns that the coaching staff and the front office need to address. One thing that gives me optimism is Al Horford, professionalism, and his track record of bouncing back from injuries throughout his career. This is a guy who's played at a high level for 17 years in the NBA. He knows his body. He knows how to take care of himself. He knows what it takes to recover and return at full strength. Steve Kerr has complete faith in Horford's potential and his ability to contribute when he's healthy. That confidence from the coaching staff matters. It tells you that they believe in him, that they see him as a valuable piece of this puzzle, that they're willing to be patient and wait for him to get right. The Warriors are at a crossroads right now. We can either let these injuries derail our season, or we can use them as an opportunity to discover new rotations, to develop our younger players, to build depth that will serve us well in the playoffs. I choose to believe in the latter. I choose to believe that this team has the resilience and the character to overcome these obstacles. But it's going to require everyone to step up. It's going to require a collective effort. It's going to require us as fans to stay positive, to support this team through the ups and downs, to trust the process even when things look bleak. Now I want to hear from you, Warriors Nation. How concerned are you about this wave of front court injuries? Do you think Steve Kerr needs to adjust his rotation and give more minutes to the younger players? Are you confident that Al Horford will return healthy and make an impact? Or are you worried about his age and the recurring nature of sciatica? What do you think the Warriors should prioritize right now, winning games or making sure everyone is fully healthy for the long term? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I genuinely want to know how you're feeling about where this team is at right now. If you're not already subscribed to Warriors News Fan Report, you need to change that immediately. This is where you get the most comprehensive coverage, the fastest breaking news, and the most honest analysis of Golden State Warriors basketball. I'm here every single day bringing you updates, insights, and perspectives that you won't find anywhere else. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's ride through this season together. We've got challenges ahead, but we've also got the talent and the culture to overcome them. Warriors Nation, let's stay strong. I'll see you in the next one.